Welcoming you back to Crypto's Juiciest News, baby dolls. We've had another ticky tune as we enter the month of Rectember. I've got so many things coming your way. We're going to speak about the PulseChain marketing, electronic gifts. We've got some spicy tweets from RectumRishel. Ben Copen, does he really think Ethereum is going to crash down to 2,500? We're going to uncover that. Tom Lee, what does Tom Lee think about Ethereum's transaction speed and technology compared to Soylana? What are his real thoughts on that? CZ, what's he saying to do during this dip? His Excellency Justin Sun make an appearance again. All of that coming your way and more. You and I have actually been getting mogged together, but we're going to keep believing because we are going to mog everyone else. First things, friends, we're going to check out the monthly candle of BTC. BTC, 108,000. We're now confirming, yes, that August has had a red month. If we go down to a bit of the deeper, closer price action of the candles, you can see actually made this little lower low. I've even seen my friend Mr. Carlin Tarks Crypto, who says the next level would be down here, but I don't know, okay? It could be just this little scam part before we go up. This is what markets do, right? They come back, do these retests, but you know, we're hanging around. We want more clarity. I've got plenty more coming your way, friends, as well. Don't you worry. We have Ethereum, right? Still broken through this triangle, this big, fat, juicy macro triangle. It's still confirming a monthly close above it. That's actually pretty good, even though, like, friends, isn't it interesting, right? BTC had a red monthly candle, and Ethereum has had a green monthly candle. Check that out. Is this a sign of all these big price action? Well, if you go speak to a lot of the Bitcoin maxis, they will attribute this to one man. They'll say, Tom Lee is the reason why all of it happened. But then you say, hey, are you going to say anything about Michael Saylor using debt to buy 632,000 Bitcoin? Why don't you just say that? They go, but this time it's different. Why? Because you're 97% long Bitcoin. Of course, you're biased, so you're not going to open your eyes to that. And we don't give a shit, because I know alt season's coming, friends. The business cycle is going to keep cranking up. This is the ETH BTC ratio, 0.04. Many people have joked that, you know, the real halvening is the ETH BTC. That happens, you know. It went from 0.16, 16, and then 8, and then 4, and then 2. It just keeps halving and halving and halving. But maybe we are going to change things around once and for all. BTC has come back. It's actually touched the 21 EMA on the weekly to the dot. Here we are right now. Does that mean we're done now? Can we actually go up? I don't know. What I'm now going to do, friends, is I'm going to keep it family friendly. Once again, we're going to have a quick peek at Russell 2000, which I'm going to show you now. Then we're going to go look at BCB stuff. Okay, so Russell 2000, friends. Remember, it's a nice indicator because it's showing you how the US market or the world market is reacting to any new information regarding the business cycle itself. Okay, so the Russell 2000 is still hanging around here. It is very close to the all-time high, man, 3%. Do you remember the events? We really thought it was it. Like, it was going to go through the all-time high and go on through. This is November. This is Trump winning. And then it literally just went down only. And that's exactly what happened to our altcoins. That's what happened to Ethereum. That's where we all got bonked. You and I think we deserve a bit of a Cranky G music. That's right. This business cycle, baby. Taking forever. So the Russell 2000. This Russell 2000, it's the last thing to go. The Dow Jones has broken the high. Yeah, man, it's just fantastic. It's US small cap shit coins. And remember, small cappers, to get in, man, it's further down the risk curve. So what does that really mean? It means you're optimistic about the future. You're happy to take on that risk. Because, you know, this company, they're not making that much money. But you go, you know what? AI is going to change the world. We're going to rethink economies. Crypto's here, making payments simpler. They go, yeah, you're not making money now, but, you know, if I just hang on with you, I believe that you'll be able to change it in the future. And you know what? This is not money I can't afford to lose. Like my business, let's say your business used to make, you know, $10,000 a month for you. And then you have like these 3-month periods where you make 20. You know, so you have like this extra cash. You're like, you know what? There's like maybe the average small business person out there. They're like, you know what? I've got an extra 5 or 10,000 to throw into this crypto. That's what happens, right? They just feel better, right? But it's amazing. It's the wisdom of the crowd. Everybody does this together, and that's how it's all printing itself in the price action like that. If you speak to each individual person, they don't really talk like that. No one really says, you know, oh, I'm so feeling optimistic about, you know, ChatGPT version 15 being able to introduce a sex robot to me that I'm now going to buy now. I'm going to buy this random altcoin because I'm linking them to. They don't actually, when you speak to each individual person, they don't link the two. But if you check it all out on the charts and the data, they all happen at the same time. Yeah, and then you just do some imaginative thinking and you can see how it all gets there. Now, because you're my baby doll and a friend and you got straight postures and you got fluffy slippers, we're going to go through some charts now. Let's just look at BCB charts, friends. So first up, we have the Russell 2000, right? On the left is the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones, see, it's above the all-time high right here. The Russell 2000 is still the last one below. Now, obviously, we know the Smelly Poop 500 and the NASDAQ has... we've got to think of a cute nickname for the NASDAQ, by the way. You know, we could keep it nice, family-friendly, NASDAQ Q, right? But we want to make, you know, we've got to try to find one. So, all the other indices through the highs. Everything. Just the Smelly Poop 500 has been leading, obviously, with the NASDAQ, actually. And, yeah, it's the Russell. Racist Russell. He's very racist. Has no white Caucasian friends. Goes out, calls for the eradication of the white race out here. But is that going to be like that forever? I don't know. Maybe racist Russell 2000, maybe his daughter's going to fall in love with a nice white man, right? And maybe he's going to buy her flowers. Maybe he's going to treat her well, you know? She'll still dump him, but he'll treat her well. You know, it might make him change his opinion on this. By the way, friends, pretty much go to any family, go somewhere down the ancestral line. Everyone's got a bit of that flavor where there's always like someone who's like, yeah, I hate this race or I hate those people in the village. And then someone gets a friend from there and it like changes their whole perspective. And they're like, oh, I hate them all. Oh, but him, I loved him. It's kind of funny how it happens, friends. So remember, crypto's also helping that as well. But also it's kind of like, you know, crypto's bringing love to people. Like, hey, I don't hate you because of your race. I just hate you because you don't like my coin. But then it also works the other way. It's nations without borders. Okay, it's true. It is true. I don't care race, religion, dude. I don't care about the pigment of your skin. Okay, but if you're shitting my bags, dude, screw everybody else. Screw everybody else. I don't care. I've seen that guy at my family barbecue every year for 30 years. Right? You know, I want to name some names look. I want to name some coins as a joke that everybody loves to poop on, but I don't want to be bottom signaling from. I was about to joke, oh, he likes Polkadot. You know what I mean? But I'm scared, friends. We're all scared. You just don't want to be a bottom signal for anything. Like, you know what crypto can do. Look what XRP did. it didn't just go up like 6%. It went up 600%. Literally a 7x in 60 days. Oh, gosh, man. And no tech. Literally nothing. So check this out as well, friends. This is the Russell 2000 with the altcoin market. Do you see this? Our altcoins. Look how they correlate, right? They won't go up together. They go down together. You see that? Look, we have the waves up together, waves up together, waves up together, come back down. Obviously, the altcoins and crypto, they're not 100%, right? And yeah, there's these deviations, deviate around, above, a bit high. And look, we all crash together. And obviously, see this, look at this big deviation. This is different. This is altcoins getting absolutely thrashed on the way down. That's our risk, right? That's your volatility risk. When the stock market, when it's like, you know, when it's having a coughing fit, we just cop it really, 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 really hard. Okay, but on the upside, hopefully we get like this big gap up. Boy, Russell 2000's up like 8%, but yeah, altcoins might be up like, you know, 300%. Hopefully we get that. But you can see they're all moving in tandem, right? And they're all with the business cycle. It's all with the business cycle. We were waiting for a continuation of friendship in that regard. Now, friends, where are we going from now? I want to show you this. I want to sprinkle this for you and call you my friend once again. This is the Ethereum chart. Do you remember, friends? I spoke about this during the week. This is the scam chart. This is from Bitcoin 2023. I remember this point. Remember I told you, friends, there were these scam, probably Wintermute, some sort of evil scam market makers. They knew everyone was talking about $25,000 Bitcoin. They go, if $25,000 doesn't hold, it's all over. It came down and it went under it. So someone literally sold under it. We remember. They just sent it. They just tried to slam it under it, and then it just got instantly reversed on their faces, and it went up. So this is in 2023. And do you want to know what's funny? This rally was Roca Negra saying we're going to file for the ETF. Yeah, just to tell you, friends, these market makers, they don't care. They don't care. Oh, BlackRock's going to come in. We don't care. We're sending it through this. So hopefully they help us discover prices on the way up. Now, there was this fake scam pump and then come back down, move here. And it feels like that's what Ethereum's just done. So Ethereum is actually down here. So if you check Ethereum, it's around 4,200-300. So we're actually right here now. So we're down here. Everyone's losing hope. Maybe there's be some double bottom, and then literally up only for September, right? And that would be marking, if we get that, that'll be 3 years in a row where September's good. Yeah, 3 years in a row. Now, next is going to be a bit scary, right? Because if we're going to run into next year, is it going to be sell in May and go away? Or are we going to rely on September being green? One of them's going to let us down. Okay, obviously, you know, if the big ones are the May, right? If you if you get the sell in May going away wrong, if you're still holding long in May and you get it wrong, it's absolute disaster. So yes, all of that will play out next year. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll just go parabolic massively in the next 3 months. But I doubt it. There's too much money allocating in now. I really think we're going into next year now. But we'll see. We don't know. Here is the Ethereum chart on the left, friends. And these are some similar price patterns of what's happened. You do this range and then you move up and you start doing the whole wee part. Okay, we're going to get the wee part. Of course, this is like, wow, this is, $6,900 ETH. This is where everything starts. Remember, 7,000 ETH is that first major fib. So getting around there would make sense. We go up here and then we distribute. Now, remember, in my mind, 7,000 was always programmed. It's just then what? Then what? Is it 7,000 and stop? Or is it 7,000 and then kind of sideways and then we continue up? So this is it. So yeah, I feel like 7,000 is coming and then what? All right, then what? Is it going to be come back down, lower high, it's over? Or come back down, skits out and actually believe a cycle? And that ends up being like a big bull flag itself, like this. And then we come up for the next leg and Ethereum goes to 13K. Yeah, don't know. Look, remember, obviously, we don't know. What do we want? We want, obviously, the 13K. We want Ethereum to, stop scamming us. But look, the interesting thing about this, friends, I've got to remind you, Ethereum ran up 250% from the bottom. People are still hating it and fading it. Yeah, they're still hating it. I mean, like all the Soylana people, everyone's still hating it. And they're saying, oh, the transactions are slow. And all these people are stupid. And yeah, it's kind of funny. Even major KOLs, they're recognizing that Wall Street is actually buying Ethereum and just started, by the way. But they're saying, no, they're actually stupid and slow. They're gonna realize in 5 years that the Soylana, the high transactions, the future, blah blah. Just excuse me, okay? Excuse me and excuse yourself, okay? As a peanut brain, I'm just gonna take a wild stab in the dark that Vitalik knows what he's doing. I'm just having a guess. Okay, I'm not saying he's perfect. Okay, he's a 4,000 IQ alien. Okay, but he's not God. But it's 4,000 IQ alien. Okay, I think Vitalik. I think he knows what he's doing. I wonder who should we kind of like give more weight with their decision? A bunch of KOLs who need a Soylana ETF and only have like basically meme coin super cycle, and then everybody's sucking on each other's feet in the LA Vape Cabal arena. Do we listen to that guy getting like token unlocks with VCs and soy stuff, or listen to the guy who literally made the world's first smart contract platform called Ethereum? I don't know, man. Like in terms of predicting the future, Vitalik's he's pretty much nailed everything so far. Yeah, we had layer 2s and stuff out here, but the business cycle was poop. You see? So, you let me know whose probability you're going to give higher attribution to. Now, we're going to move on to a couple more pictures as well, friends. This is a zoom up of our total altcoins, okay? This is excluding BTC. So just total. You can see this big green line. That is, I think, the all-time high, 1.7 trillion. We're right here. So maybe that's what we're doing, this little skitsy part. And yeah, here is the vertical line here, September. Yay, up only. You're noticing a pattern here with all that astrology. It's always like, can we go, like, I want to move, and I'd like to move in the anti-down direction, otherwise known as up, and I would only like to go that direction, and you're not allowed to go any other way. I want to show you some macro stuff as well, baby doll. So what we can do is let's have a look at my my chart. I'll show you the yield spread between the 2-year, so you can see on America what they're actually pricing in. So this is the US 2-year minus the Fed funds. So this is, see, it's at minus 0.7. So pretty much what it's expecting in the future, it's pretty much got 3 cuts in. Okay, now there might be, like, so they don't know if it's 2 or 3 yet. And obviously this moves along over time, right? But you can kind of see it's starting to like roll over down, right? But always these things roll over down and like can zip up back up. Maybe this is what happens over time, right? Maybe as well, just to show you, right, in May, this is where major loser Powell, he has to leave, major loser Powell. So this market, right, well, it might just come back down as they get to find out who the next US Fed guy is. They'll start to price in where they think the rates are going to be later on. He might be like mega dovish, right? And we'll see how all that plays out. We have a rate cut coming. Yeah, one rate cut. No one gives a crap, bro. Rate cuts are trash. There's one rate cut. Bro, listen, do 200 basis points or give me nothing. I don't care. Make me feel something, right? It's interesting. Remember at the beginning, last year, everyone thought we were going to get 7 rate cuts. Yeah, it didn't happen. They kept hiking, and then they cut. He only cut 3 times for Joe Biden. Yeah, obviously major loser, cut 3 times for Joe Biden right into the election, and then it still wasn't enough for him to win, okay? This year, the market also expected 7 rate cuts, especially in the Trump tariffs when they came out. I was like, oh, wow, this is going to be really bad, and then nothing happened, man. I see the market can get really erratic and skits, man. It can get really erratic. We expected 7 cuts, didn't get anything, right? Now, finally, we get 1 cut, and like major loser Powell, he's actually said, okay, forget about the inflation. That time has passed. Now we're going to look at jobs. It's all one big scam. You know what I mean? It's a reflection of the economy, friends. So we're going to get these cuts. How much though? You know, like 2 or 3 cuts. But no one gives a crap about that. You know what I mean? Like we just make these things fly. Interesting chart here coming your way. This is the Bitcoin dominance on the left and on the right as well. But you can see how, friends, you have Bitcoin dominance. You have Bitcoin's charts. It's rotating around here, and the Bitcoin dominance is finally starting to come down lots, around 58%. So you can actually get a bigger look at it as well. Looking at these, you have Bitcoin. So yes, the rate, obviously the Bitcoin dominance must keep coming down. But yeah, what does that must? It means I guess Ethereum has to rally, right? Or 50 other altcoins, big altcoins rally. So we are seeing that right now. We're seeing Charmly come out, become the Evangelion of it. This is an Ethereum price. So I'm just showing you the up only as well. You can see we're in this like little bull flag area. That's exactly where we are now. And then yes, we do get an up only part after this. And I guess we can go to like 7,200 and see what happens after that point. Are we gonna bull trap Tom Lee at the end of it? Maybe, but not now. You know, it doesn't feel like it's yeah, man. It feels like it's too early for him to lose. Like he's such a nice guy and he's first. He's first. Friends, you know what I mean? Like he's first. He's the first Wall Street guy. I'm a Wall Street guy, free coin guy. Hey, come and buy my meme coin. Whoop! Did I rug that thing? Sorry. Come back tomorrow, little kid. You know, that type of junk. Wall Street guy. If Tom Lee is the first guy, like we haven't seen the fraudsters come out. Yeah? Like in Bitcoin, are there fraudsters? We don't know. Like, I'm not in the Bitcoin treasury. Like you and I, we don't know all these Bitcoin. We know, like, okay, look, let me just tell you something, friends. Okay. I don't know all these treasury CEOs, but I can tell you right now, you know there's some fraud going on here. You know there's some crime. You know there are, like, this one's just called Bitcoin Treasury Corporation. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely some scamming going on here. We just don't know yet. We don't know the people. Maybe if we looked up all of them. Okay, this is BitMax. Just these names are funny, man. And we won't know until later on, right? But like with Ethereum, you don't have them. You don't have them. Like, yeah, with Ethereum's just a couple of early people who dare to believe. So at some point, though, there will be the scamming, but not yet. Check this out as well. So this is where Bitcoin is right now, friends. Obviously, there's a up or down scenario. The down is that this was the peak, that we just had this equal to that part, and then we're just making a lower high here, and then it's all over. There could be down that part. Obviously, we don't want that part, but it's not up to us. But also, like, there's just too many things saying there's some bull juice left. They're not by some, I mean, like, yeah, maybe not infinite amount of time, but there's just, yes, these prices are way, way, way too cheap. Okay. Now, conceptually, where are we actually moving through? It seems to be this, friends. We are probably at this bull flag where Bitcoin, this is Bitcoin chart from 2021, where Ethereum's going to go up and start flagging, and then everyone's going to think it's over. Everyone's really going to think this one's over, okay? And then we're going to get one big up, and this is the actual mega, mega, mega alt season, okay? We still have to go up here, and if you remember here, where the arrow is, this is where Elon Musk said he bought Bitcoin, okay? Now, do we have a person in the world who could buy Ethereum or Bitcoin or whatever and make us feel like everything's going to be okay. I don't think there's a person in the world that can do that. But if the universe wants to choose someone, it can. But I'm thinking more like a company. Okay? Imagine Apple said, okay, we've bought Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're now putting an Ethereum and a Bitcoin wallet on everyone's phone in the next iOS update. And we're thinking of even launching an exchange. Like, imagine they just said something like that. And then we'll go, whoa. Okay, it's big now. We're never going away. They're literally putting it on everyone's phone in the world. Oh my gosh, right? They're going to start asking questions. It could be that, or it could even be Elon. Elon saying, X platform, we're going to make X exchange. You're going to be able to trade and swap with everyone. You can send people money. You're going to have your own crypto wallet. You can choose to make it public on your public account. And like, imagine we said that, we're like, oh my gosh. Whoa. I'm just imagining these things, right? Because anything else below that is just not exciting enough, you know? Like if ExxonMobil says, oh, we're going to buy, $48 of XRP, it's not exciting, okay? But we need something like that. Let's crack on with some news, friends. So PulseChain's electronic marketing gifts, they've arrived in warehouses, but many speculate that it's all a psyop. The mystery will be answered soon enough. So I'd like to hear other people's thoughts. I'm trying to watch Trayvon. Trayvon, if you're listening, I know you like streams, bro. I don't know how to find your content. So every stream's 3 hours. I put you on 2x speed. And I spend 95% of my time just fast forwarding to see you talking, because most of the time it's you like doing a backflip or like grabbing a ball or like going, "What's up, chat?" Or he just gets the button and he does a laughy thing and he just says something like or he does he shows the Matty Allen, boom, and he push the button, beep, and it goes, "And we're live." Like, yeah, I want to hear people's thoughts. I haven't heard, but there's actual people who think it's full on psyop and stuff out here, But yeah, also I like listening to Trayvon sometimes because he's not in the PulseChain bubble, right? So it helps to hear other people's perspectives. Because here's the thing, fans, like I could be completely correct. I could be, but you never really know because I got bag bias or someone else's bag bias. Like Michael Saylor could be right about Bitcoin $13 million. He could be right, but then I'm like, well, you've got 620,000 of them, so he literally does, right? So yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on that. Also, friends, I've got a spicy tweet here, messages from RectumRishel. I might have to go through it again from Yummy Update, okay? But I'll just give you the gist of what's going on. So there's these Telegram messages of RectumRishel, and I'm just going to, so there's basically these messages here, and I'm just going to just quickly go through some alarming ones. But they're not alarming like, oh no, it's all bad. Like alarming as in this proves my prophecy theory is true. So this is his quote, and he does talk like this. I no longer need to make money. I simply take it from the chain itself. Okay, so like, okay, we're going down to next RectumRishel. It's why I am leaving PulseChain as exclusive. I went multi-chain. Too much money out there. So it's kind of like he's always had like this. He's one of the biggest whales as well. That's the biggest whales, and the perception is that he's got a chain around everyone's neck. With dumping yield and stuff out here. But yeah, friends, I have a prophecy, and that's why, friends, I appreciate you just like you appreciate me. I don't leave you hanging. I explained if these are real, it confirms my speculation as to why the prophecy is happening the way it is. So I actually have this full video. So I'll probably go through a bit in Yummy Updates and stuff later on. But the gist is, look, here's the thing, friends. We found ourselves, the whole PulseChain community, just like every other coin community, you have token holders out there, right? And so Richard, I guess, had two paths. This is how I'm interpreting it. It could be a total nutcase. I don't give a crap. This is how my mind's thinking. My mind's thinking Richard had two paths. Either, so there's a value gap. There's all these holders. There's a value gap. Now Richard could he could work for everyone and make PulseChain really marketing value from day one, valuable. In terms of, he'll pay for exchange listings. He'll pay for this. He works for everyone. He still streams. He just tries to do everything he can. And maybe that justifies all the shark holders and the whales and stuff and them holding on. But he didn't do that. Obviously, you look back now, he didn't choose that path, did he? Remember how he always says, I don't work for you? It seems the path he's done is to do maximum pain, maximum weak hands shaking out to get all these whales out. And trust me, there are a lot of harpooned whales. A lot. Remember Dick Cherry? Remember all these things? A lot of harpooned whales. They dumped a lot of supply over the years. A lot. And it's by design. That's why I think a lot of people say, no, he's abandoned us. You know, like you have Brandon B saying, he's a coward. He's a coward. Richard Horse, coward. And I'm like, bro, listen, your little $600, that's not what he's concerned about, dude. He's caring about the guy with $6 million. Because if he 100x's this guy, he's got $600 million, okay? So he wants to get that $6 million maybe down to $1 million. He wants to get rid of that supply, put it in stronger hands. And this, to me, explains everything out here. But look, friends, you got to understand, like, when you go outside of the bubble, like, if you're a Trevon, if you're literally a walking Trevon, if you're Ivan on tech and you hear this stuff, you'd be like, this guy's a crackpot. He's absolutely lost his mind. He's basically saying it's bullish that the founder is, like, missing from like the front of the show. And I'm like, oh, you know what, man? I'm long. That's all that matters. So my opinion doesn't really matter, okay? This is where the prophecy comes up. And then you might say, hey, what about the prophecy? The prophecy relates to pDAI. Yeah, that's why there probably is odds that pDAI ends up being a claimable share on an asset. All right, so because these whales, they don't have it. Yeah, they weren't shaken out, friends. In Hex made too many people too rich too fast. Okay, 1.5 years. Which is sad because Richard Hart kept saying delay gratification, but these people didn't. You know what I mean? Really. And look, it is what it is, man. It's just, look, he maybe just onboarded a lot of people. Unfortunately, a few bad eggs have just spoiled everything. Bad eggs, bad apples, bad snails, bad everything. Maybe they just spoiled everything, and this is almost like just a redistribution of that. So everything's going to still be great. This is like higher level. This is almost like political things out here. So don't worry about that. We'll cover more about it later. Here we have, friends. Ben Copen has called for Ethereum to crash to 2,500. And he says the top is probably in at 5,500 below before it goes to 1,000. So I'll cover this again for you. In Yummy Update, he's calling for Ethereum to crash down 2,500 and then like max top 5,500 and just basically everyone gets scammed. But yeah, I want to show you, friends, everyone's got an incentive, right? Everyone owns a bag or doesn't own a bag or whatever, right? So I just want to show you, for example, his incentives. So he's got 97% Bitcoin pretty much. He's got 7,000 VIP subs paying him monthly. So he's making $8.5 million a year just from these VIP subs. You know, so he's literally earning like $800,000 to $900,000 a year to have that. So you got to think about your incentives. You don't want to piss off those people. You're getting $8.5 million from them a year because that's what it is, friends. When people follow someone, if they only make 10%, when they could have made 500%, you know, that's still okay. They can get over that. Oh, you still made money. But, you know, if they lose something and that person is selling a service, then you start to lose people because they remember the hits, because not everyone manages risk, right, etc. So they leave a bad taste in everyone's mouth, right? So it gives you an idea about incentives and then just everything here. So that's why they're getting advised to have like a 97% Bitcoin maxi portfolio, pretty much, okay, when you go through the weeds. So that is important, I think, as a data point. If you're looking at someone saying, oh, this thing's going to crash to 2,500, ETH BTC is going to go down lower to 0.011, and everything's going to go its way and then fade. So you see, so it's important to understand, friends. Here's the thing, right? There are people with big bags, and it ends up being right. It ends up being right, but you still got to take it all in context. You know what I mean? So here's the thing, right? We've obviously seen Tom Lee come in. You've obviously seen ETH BTC reverse. You've obviously seen Ethereum is still contrarian. Every single major KOL's fading it. And the Bitcoin maxis who are still saying, no, still trash. So you've seen a clear price action reversal, sentiment change. Every single thing you've wanted has actually changed. They're still not changing their mind, which I just told you that they were just full of it the whole time. They just kept moving the goalposts. They were never going to change their mind, okay? Friends, Ben Copen said you should get all into altcoins when they start cutting rates. All right, they're about to cut rates. He said, no, this is not a real rate cut thing. You need the QE and just moving the goalposts, man. They're moving the goalposts. Do you know what I mean? So you're going to see more of this play out, and then you know how the story's going to play out, friends. We're going to have to get all of them to capitulate somehow. I don't know how they capitulate, though. You know, maybe they don't do it physically. Maybe they like start doing altcoin newsletters or something. We'll see. Tom Lee says, friends, that Wall Street doesn't care about transaction speed. They want reliability of Ethereum. So he's done this cute interview. I don't have much time to go through it now, but he's done his interview, and yes, so he gets asked, hey, what do you think about Soylana's tech? It's faster. Everyone says that Ethereum is slow. He says, look, man, I'm talking to Wall Street. He goes, they don't care about these transaction speeds. Everything that Ethereum does, they love it. He goes, it's a future. You can earn real yield from it. It's not just paid out from like inflation. And it says they're buying it because of what they think they can do in 5 years from now and all the applications. You got the stablecoin super cycle. Friends, literally every single thing I've been telling you from day one, he's saying, yeah, that's pretty much it. And it doesn't even have to be true, you know? I mean, he's shilling it. That's one thing. CZ says, I do believe that Bitcoin will become the global reserve currency at the Bitcoin Asia conference. So, yeah, I hope it does. So all our bags can pump. That'd be good. Eric Trump. There's no question in my mind Bitcoin will go to million and go a lot higher. That is awesome. Why? You know, if Trump's kids are calling for $1 million Bitcoin and Bitcoin is like $230K and Ethereum is $13,000, well, there you go. That's our marginal top buyer. Yeah, that's it. It's going to $1 million. Trump family's got us, right? Yeah, we'll see. An Ethereum ICO participant moved 0.01 ETH after 10 years. He turned $49 into $694,000 in Ethereum. 14,177 x return. So remember, friends, PulseChain was designed to do 14,000x. That's why a lot of people believed it was going to do 14,000x and stuff out here, and why the expectations were high. So yeah, Ethereum did 14,000x return here. That'd be wild. Then if it goes to $13,000, then man, this guy's gonna have $1.8 million just from a $50 investment. Just never wants to get rid of it. You never even have to sell that. Just live off the yield if you want, right? So far, friends, Rockenegra's Ethereum ETF has seen about almost $1 billion in net inflows this week. So remember, it's the charging up, the lightning rod moment. Here comes Charlie showing everybody how it's done. His Excellency Justin Sun is going to push a button to drop the Tron network fees by 60%. And I've written here, this is obviously in response to all the other competition arising in stablecoin chains, such as Circle's Arc chain announced. Remember, Circle, friends, announced they're going to do a layer 1. So, yeah, it's stablecoin wars now. Yeah, it's stablecoin wars, stablecoin super cycle. It's all coming out here. Yeah, I hope we still get the stablecoin super cycle and it should translate, because friends, DeFi, we've only had season 1 of it. We had DeFi season 1 in 2020, DeFi 1, the actual OG, you know, Aave and Uniswap stuff out here. I know they're going to come back for another season because they've only had 1 cycle. They have to have the second one. It's not going to be as big as the first one, but it'll be enough, you know. That means Hex coming, PulseChain, also an alternative to Ethereum layer 1. So they should all come back. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting. That's why we're still convicted. It's just they have not been basically washed out with that second cycle. That'll be like next cycle. We don't have to worry about that. $5 billion gets liquidated if Ethereum reaches $5,000 price, as people take large bets that Ben Copen's $2,500 Ethereum prediction will occur. So it's interesting, man. So a lot of you come out, you go, Sonny, there's absolutely no way people are listening to this. God, look, there's $5 billion betting on his direction right now. Literally $5 billion will get liquidated if Ethereum reaches 5,000 $. Do you remember the $3,000 number? We just sliced right through it. So this is it, friends. Also, CZ, our baby doll friend, CZ, Binance CZ says, avoid selling the dip. That's all great. So where are we going to go to from here, friends? Well, it's ticky Rectember time, isn't it? But we might actually get some friendship. We might actually see Ethereum, friends. This is the 1 hour chart. Let's probably do it on an 8 hour chart. So Ethereum, friends, yeah, might be ready to go, man. It really is. It's done like this flag thing here. Is this it? I think that's it, man. I think that's it. We're ready to go. We've G'd down here. Maybe there's a little skitsy part, and we'll just go up only for Rectember. And is everything going to go great? We'll see, man. We'll see, you know, because there's a lot of altcoins, man. There's a lot of altcoins. We're going to do great, though. Like, subscribe, bitty button, all. Catch you soon.